Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Red EDC and welcome to this edition of Channel Chat. And joining me today is Jason from the NebuQloud channel. How are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing today, Big Red?
I'm doing all right. It's the weekend,
Happy
it's
Saturday.
yes, definitely happy Saturday. So, and to be perfectly honest with you, I was kind of concerned when we were talking because all this week I was hearing at work we may have to work this weekend. We may have to work. First it was work Saturday and Sunday, and then it was work just Saturday. Then it was work just Sunday. And last night it was we're not working at all. And I'm like, oh come on, guys.
Oh, I'm
So,
sorry about that.
oh no, not at all, not at all. But I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. And I love doing these channel chats because it gives the EDC community a little bit of a better opportunity to get to know you, to get to go know Jason, get to know NebuQloud, and what you know, just a little bit about you. And so, in saying that, if you would, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself a little bit? You can, you know, tell us as much or as little as you want. That's what I always say. And just kind of tell us what got you into knives and what made you start your channel, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much. My name is Jason, and I started NebuCloud sometime about, I want to say June of last year. Um, I've been watching a lot of reviewers, and I've been inspired to try to do a little bit with the knife community. A lot has changed as far as like the laws, not necessarily in the US, but around the world. And just watching Canada kind of go through their transformation and their law changes, it kind of made me want to help out. I think it would be fun to present pocket knives in a very soft manner. I live around people that are absolutely terrified of pocket knives.
Mm.
They seem to um, they seem to raise an eyebrow the moment I pull out a knife to cut an apple or to cut up a sandwich. They sometimes ask if the knives that I carry are legal. And I live in
Really?
Arizona. Yeah, I live in Arizona where
Really?
there's like no real gun laws. So we won't bat an eye at a gun, but we're a little scared of pocket knives. My roommate in particular, we've been housing together for almost 4 years. He's actually a little uncomfortable around pocket knives. So I thought, featuring a subject that people have mixed feelings on, if I do it in a soft manner, perhaps it'll change some of the attitudes that are out there. I personally do not see these as weapons. I don't necessarily think they would make great self-defense weapons. I would definitely use one, don't get me wrong, but I use them for tools. I like them to cut up my boxes. I order a lot from Amazon, especially now with COVID. I think
Hmm.
we're
Hmm.
ordering a lot more online these days,
Oh yeah.
and those boxes stack up.
Yeah,
And
they
I think
do.
it's kind of rude to like leave them, intact in the recycle bin. So I cut them up, and it's just a lot of fun using my tools. I've been carrying pocket knives since I was 9 years old. They're not necessarily my very first EDC, but I love them nonetheless. I've actually been carrying gemstones since I was 5. I think they are my very first EDC. And
Oh,
then
that's
next to
cool.
that would be a pen and a notepad because I've always been very creative. Um, yeah,
Now you
I
say creative. You like to draw and that type of thing?
yeah, I like to draw.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
to. I have a um, a knack for the cinematic. If you haven't noticed.
You most certainly do. You trust me. Trust me. That was one of the things we were going to talk about for sure, because you certainly do have a knack for that.
I love it. I don't know why. I think it's fun that you could take an object and make something fun out of it. I know that people have mixed feelings, for instance, on punchy knuckle tools. And I think it would be fun. I thought in my head, it would be fun to present them almost like a nefarious object, like what you'd see in a movie or a video game. I'm kind of inspired by the video game The Room, which was available on iPhone. I think it's now on almost every platform. And I like the art style. It has kind of a dark theme to it, but it's very cinematic. And I'm kind of using that as inspiration for some of the art I create.
That is very cool. That is awesome, man. That kind of like we were talking about right before we started. That is exactly why I love doing these things, because you get to know a little bit more about the person that you're watching do these reviews or whatever it is. You and it lends some background and it lends some understanding to why or how they may approach their reviews. You know what I mean? And it's so interesting to me to learn stuff like this, and well, just basically to get to know you a little bit better. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
And it's like you said, you live in a place where maybe pocket knives aren't seen in the best of light, and I really commend you for taking that avenue in the way you present your knives. That is very now. See, I am kind of almost the opposite, we'll say. I grew up in the Midwest, everybody carried a pocket knife. It was no big deal to see somebody walking around with a pocket knife or even a hunting knife on their belt. It's just the way it was,
Right.
and that's why I have pretty much more of a straightforward approach. Hey, this is what this is, and it's because that's just how it was presented to me growing up. You know what I mean? It was just there.
Yeah, I agree. It was like that in the 80s, especially. I'm 42. I hope that doesn't shock anyone, but I did grow up in the 80s. Everyone had pocket knives, and they
Oh,
were
yeah.
not like the pocket knives that we see now. I think the PM3 would be pretty small for that time frame. We were carrying big knives, and I think it was probably inspired by Crocodile Dundee. I know that I own that movie.
Oh yeah. What about the Rambo knife?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Come on. And didn't everybody have a Rambo knife at the time? I know I did, man. That was like
Everybody
the
did.
thing. Yeah, that was the thing, man. And like you said, the big old crocodile Dundee, that's not a knife, yeah, that was just the thing. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I love. That's what I absolutely love. So, well, cool. Well, you know what? You talked a little bit kind of about carrying like gemstones and stuff like that. And obviously, I can see on the table there, you've got just some beautiful, beautiful. And I'll tell you what, man, that is a hobby. We talked about it a little bit. That is a hobby that I have contemplated and contemplated, but it's kind of one of the ones that has kind of fell on the back burner because I have so many other hobbies but like getting a tumbler and tumbling rocks and just taking this rough, gnarly stone, putting it into a tumbler and seeing the beauty that can come out of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you live in Washington. There's just so many stones out there that you
Oh
can easily
yeah.
tumble. I know that I have these agates here. They came from Oregon. You can find these on the coast of Washington as well.
Sure.
They
Yep.
may be a little bit brighter. You may get them in various colors, but they tend to be this orangey
Mm-hmm.
color. Um,
Yep. Sure
you
enough.
In Oregon, you can also find kind of a bluish variety. These have been baked by the volcanoes that are in the area. It's really neat to see how rocks turn out after they've been in the ground for a while.
Oh
The
yeah.
radiation just does interesting things to the colors. I've been collecting these rocks since I was 5. I can't necessarily be an advocate for collecting rocks because it's almost like looking at watches. They can get very expensive and very quickly.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I have stones that are roughly about this size. I have one of them in particular, and it's $500.
No
Um,
kidding.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I
Um,
had no idea. I had no idea, man.
Gemstones can be very, very expensive, and they run anywhere from like $500 to, you can see them for thousands of dollars, and it's just one stone. It doesn't do anything. There's nothing that I find they can do aside from bringing a little bit of joy, just because, you know, they're beautiful. This one has been in my collection since about, I want to say 2002, 2003. There's been some wear on the termination point here, and there's a lot of scratches on the surface. It likes to go in my pocket quite a bit, and I don't necessarily carry it for any spiritual reasons. I actually do it because I'm a huge space nerd. I like collecting rocks because they remind me that um, they remind me that the Earth was created in one way, shape, or form. This was formed. It's kind of neat to watch the formation of crystals because they grow. They can break, they can self-heal. Stones are also parasitic. They will absorb and eat other materials and turn them into another material. And then they, let me think here. There's one other thing. It's just neat that they can grow. And they're not alive. That's one of the things that I find super interesting. You find that a lot in space with space dust. It starts to collect in space, and it starts to create a little orbit. And then before you know it, you have a hardened rock. A lot of the hardened rocks will probably have little nebulas in them from different materials that
Oh, that's cool.
that the I'm going to call it a new asteroid, a new meteor, but it starts to form with different little nebulas with different material. It's really cool just to see how they get formed. I love collecting space rocks. They're my absolute favorite, but they're also probably the most expensive. The collection that I have here is a pretty humble collection. Some of it were gifts that were given to me. I've been collecting them since I was 5, as I said, and these often make it into my pocket. I don't really have a whole lot of a story behind them, but I can tell you the names of each of them. I
Oh,
can
that
probably
one's
even tell
cool.
you where they came from.
Oh, I love the
This one,
layering on that one.
this one is a Botswana Agate. The material here is mostly quartz. What's happened here is the area is, there's a lot of shaking in the ground from the volcanoes, a lot of geothermal activity. And as the crystals grow, they're not able to grow into full crystals. Each time the ground shakes, it creates a new layer. And almost looks like a seashell in a
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
but it's just pure quartz.
That dude, that is gorgeous, man. I love the layering on that one. Beautiful. Very cool.
We got some amethyst. This one also comes from South Africa.
Very cool. Now, you said that one that larger, I guess, crystal, would it be that you were holding up there to be? Yeah. Yeah. Now, where would something like that come from?
I live in Arizona, and Arizona has all different kinds of rocks. If you ever come visit Arizona, it doesn't matter what town, you're likely going to find rocks at the gas station. You're going to probably find rocks um, anywhere that there's any kind of like tourist destination.
Sure.
Um, uh, there just so happens to be gem and mineral shows that happen throughout various times of the year. I picked this one up in Quartzsite, and they usually have their gem shows around December.
Mm.
There's a larger gem show that happens in Tucson, and that's the one everyone really gets excited about. It usually happens the first 2 weeks of February. If you're interested in gemstones and you want to get a good deal, I would highly encourage visiting Arizona during that time frame.
I actually have a brother that lives in Arizona, and I've just south of Phoenix, and I've spent a little bit of time down there visiting them, but just never, never went like, like you said, rock hunting or this type of thing. But that is very cool.
Yeah, I love rock hunting too. There's a lot of opportunities here to look for rocks. I go hiking quite a bit, and I have this issue where I absolutely love rocks. It doesn't matter if they are meaningful or not. If they sparkle and I see them, they're likely going to go in my pocket or they're going to go in my backpack. And there's been times where I've been on top of a mountain and I'm climbing down and I've got like 10 pounds worth of rocks in my
Oh no.
backpack.
Right on. Right on. It's funny, we just came back from Hawaii, and we went up to Haleakala, up to the top of the volcano
Oh
on
yeah.
Maui. And that's one of the things that, there's signs everywhere, do not remove the rock, and things like that. So obviously there's places where you can't do that, or it's very highly frowned upon because
Right.
of the cultural and, religious significance of the area that you're in, of course. And that's something that I'm sure you would, and you understand prior to doing anything, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Obey the laws.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is rules that you can find online. You can find them easily if you Google them.
That's cool. Very cool. That is awesome, man. And like I said, that's one of the hobbies that I thought about because I think it would be fun. And like you said, maybe your current situation, having a tumbler and that type of thing, might not be appreciated by anyone around you because
Right.
they are a little bit loud, and you have to do it for, and you kind of you start with a coarse media and you step down, to that fine polishing media, and that can take, like you said, a week, 2 weeks, something like that. You got this thing running and rolling and making a little bit of noise. So I certainly understand that.
Oh yeah. And you're usually filling the tumbler with quite a bit of material, quite a bit
Yeah.
of media.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know one guy that has tumbled his rocks for like 8 weeks
Oh,
and they
wow.
still don't get to the result that he wants. So he'll sometimes tumble them even longer. Um, yeah, they do sometimes require a long time.
Oh, wow. Super polished there, boy.
Yeah,
That would be
absolutely.
cool. That would be awesome. Well, very cool, man. Thank you for sharing that with us, man. That is very cool. And like you said, you made an illusion to your cinematic kind of interest and stuff. And man, I tell you what, you sent me a video the other day that I just thought were so cool. You're you've kind of made some like logos and intros for people from the sounds of it. And
Yeah, I have.
that's cool. That is awesome. I tell you what, I I bow to your to your because I am so not. I am so not let's say technologically advanced. I can use Zoom, man. When I learned how to use Zoom and do this, I was so happy. I'll
I
be
completely
perfect.
understand.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was just like, woohoo! I can do something other than like type an email. Yay! But no, you do some really neat work.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I am rather amazed at what you can do with an iPhone. I don't own a computer. I don't have any special equipment. It's just a single iPhone.
That's awesome, man, that you do that all on your iPhone. That is, do you use iMovie doing it?
I do use iMovie as one of the apps. I typically use anywhere between 8 to 10 apps to make a film.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on what it is that I'm working on. For instance, like yesterday, I worked on a little logo and a title reel for Goondocks.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun doing it. It was something that I never expected being requested to do, honestly. I haven't even done it for myself, which is kind of funny. I don't have any stickers for myself. I need to create some, but I originally started doing this back in October. I was watching Neve's Knives, and he made this suggestion to go check out a smaller channel named The Knife Whisperer.
Yep.
And I started watching him, and uh, he's hilarious. I absolutely love his content.
Yeah.
And around mid-October, things got kind of serious for him, where he was hurting, and he was hurting pretty hard.
Yeah.
He was selling some of his knives
Yeah.
on his channel, and just like hearing the tone in his voice, it kind of cut me really deep. And I didn't have the money to be able to help out. The knives that he likes, they're really nice knives,
Oh
and I
yeah.
don't have anything that's over $200.
Right.
So I'm not one that can afford any of the knives that he was selling, but just as a kind thing to someone that I didn't necessarily know, but wanted to cheer him up anyway, I created this little intro reel for him. It was kind of silly, didn't really put too much into it, just using a bunch of photos. And then I did a tiny little bit of editing at the end. And it changed his attitude. You can see there was like a huge difference from when the moment that he got that intro, he started using it on his channel. The tone that he was using was a little different. He was still selling some of his knives, but he didn't sound so sad about it. And he felt like there was some kind of support, and that felt really good. And then in November, he asked me to make some additional intros for him, and I did. He didn't give me any direction at all, and so I got really silly with it, simply because of I was trying to match his silliness on his channel,
There you go.
and I think it worked. I think it really worked. And then before you knew it, I was talking to Lefty EDC. I made a little intro reel for him, and then Lefty EDC and DTOM decided that they wanted to create On the Edge, and they asked me to create a logo for them. And then they started giving my name out to people. And before you knew it, I started getting requests from various channels. It's been so fun interacting with everyone. It's been fun creating content. I have kind of put my channel aside a little bit so that I can kind of finish up on those projects. But I'm really grateful that I get the opportunity to be the one that's creative and helping someone out. I haven't charged anyone yet. This has just been purely for fun, and I've really enjoyed every moment of it.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I full disclosure, I kind of threw you under the bus to Goondocks.
I appreciate that.
I'll have to admit. No, because I've seen what you've done, man, and it's fantastic.
I'm
It's
really
you do
grateful.
fantastic work. And he asked, and I was like, well, I you were the first one that kind of popped into my head. I'm like, man, NebuQloud, Jason he's doing some awesome stuff. Maybe just ask, you know, to say, hey, I heard your and try. I mean, that's all you can do is ask, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's all.
and he and what you showed me, man, it's I love it. It's so cool, and it fits him.
I'm really
I think
excited for
it
him to
fits
use
him
it.
so well, and that's so cool.
He's such a chill guy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like listening to him, you would never imagine what his EDC is. Like you would never imagine that he's carrying a Chris and a Hawkbill blade. And that's his everyday carry. I think that's really awesome.
Right.
I really love his hobby too. I appreciate that he's super into fishing, and
Yeah.
I love the way that he did his giveaway recently, where he was giving away a little fishing kit. I think it's awesome. I think it's
Hmm.
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Awesome, man. You're, I think you're, well, I say I have to appreciate you because you're, I mean, you started joining the live streams and everything like that. And it's absolutely fantastic to have you. And you just won.
I did.
You just won here recently, and you were telling me how that was probably one of the first things you'd ever won, which was very cool. Oh, that's awesome. And then you kind of went on a roll.
Yeah, kind of. I did win another knife that I just totally was not expecting. On Zach's channel, I did not anticipate that at all. I guess I'm just lucky. I wish I would have played the lottery on those 2 days.
Yeah, no kidding,
Uh,
right?
I I haven't won anything since, but I'm really grateful. This one's fun, and I can't put down the Benchmade either. I keep playing with both of them.
So what do you, since you got it there, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Solaris?
I really like it a lot. I love the design of it. I like that there's absolutely no jimping. I like that they've created this little hump that you can put your thumb behind. Um, it's really comfortable in the hand, especially with the pocket clip. And you can't really say that with very many pocket clips. I was a little nervous because the pocket clip's a little thin,
Hmm. Hmm.
that I would be easily able to bend it, but I haven't had that issue at all. And it goes in the pocket pretty easily. And the action on it is just awesome. I
It's
really
pretty,
like it a
I
lot.
mean, they are. They're just, it's so, I mean, the action is just so slick. And I'll tell you what, and I see you over there Spidey flicking it and all that good stuff. And you have my, I don't know if you've seen my trials and tribulations with, I did it once. I Spidey flicked the Solaris once. So I know I can do it. I just can't repeat it.
Yeah, I
I,
completely understand.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
I'm hoping that Dad Shredder learns the Spidey flick. It was
Yeah.
something that I think I dared him on a while back, and he's been practicing. And then since someone has actually sent him a Spyderco knife, so I'm super excited that he's got it.
That's
But yeah,
awesome. And the shredder, man, the shredder, such a cool. I love the whole idea behind their channel, man. Father and son out doing stuff together. I mean, how cool is that?
it is so cool. I really love them as a family. They've
Yes.
become very good friends. We interact almost every day, and I know that that's going to change pretty soon. Their channel is going to blow up.
I
I'm
have a
really
feeling
anticipating
it
that.
could. Yes. I have a feeling it definitely could. And they have Mondays with Mama, so they get Mama involved and everything. I think that's really, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And it's
I
fun.
love the whole family.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it's just, it's fun, like I forget who I was having the conversation with, but I mean, we did a channel chat. I did a channel chat with him, and just from, Dad said he tells me he's willing to put in the effort, put in the work, put in the time, and it's like, absolutely. So why wouldn't us as a community help that grow? And I think the
Yeah.
community really has.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're getting, I know Off Grid Knives has really helped them out, which is so very cool, and is working with them. And that is absolutely awesome. And then just the community as a whole has really brought them in and just, trying to help uh, foster that in the shredder. And that is really, really cool.
Yeah, I think everyone has been really kind to them. I really am excited for their future. I was really excited that they asked me to create a little intro for them, and a little logo for them. I'm excited for them to use it. I I want nothing but the best for them.
Oh, for
I feel
sure.
like I know that the shredder, and I'm going to only refer to him as the shredder.
Right.
I know that he signed up for doing all of it, but I think most of it falls on dad. I'm really impressed with the little editing that they're doing. Really awesome.
Yeah.
And I think I'm super excited to see where their channel is going to go. I imagine that they're going to have their own network TV series in the near future. I really do. I
You
see it.
think? Right on.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. That would be very cool for sure. Well, what else you got there on the table? Where your interests lie right now in knives? I know they can change over time. You know, our interests kind of sway sometimes, but what's kind of your focal point in your knife EDC right now?
Well, that's kind of interesting. A lot of my friends that I'm really close with, their budgets are really tight. And
Hmm.
so I'm kind of influenced by that a little bit.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why you'll see quite a few budget knives on my channel. Um, I kind of want to respect my friends. I
Okay.
want to show them stuff that is easily attainable for them, and then at the same time attainable for everyone.
Sure.
I have some plans this year to go through a lot of my collection, but I also just joined the Bplex Pass Around group, which includes Jake from Ohio State, the Shredder, um, and I'm, I'm drawing a blank here on the name, Grateful Panic. And it's interesting, the four of us have first names with a letter that starts with a J.
Oh yeah. True. Very
Yeah.
true.
And I
Very
don't know how
true.
that happened, but it was cool. They made that observation yesterday. I thought that was pretty funny. As far as like where I'm heading with my channel, there's a couple of areas that I want to cover. One of which is Leatherman. I definitely want to go into Leatherman. I especially want to cover all of the budget Leatherman, specifically the Leatherman brand. I've tried um, various multi-tools. I have all different kinds of multi-tools, and I'm super excited about what Leatherman is offering. I'm also going to be covering quite a bit of my Swiss Army knives. I know that the steels are not super exciting as far as the blades go, but the implements that are on them are really awesome. I think it's good to carry something with you, even if it's not that great. It's not good to go out naked into the world. At least I don't feel it's good to go out naked into the world. I do plan to cover quite a bit of Spyderco knives. I got quite a few sprint runs that I want to cover.
Right on.
And I do want to break into fixed blades. Those are kind of my plans as far as reviews go. I am also going to go a little crazy with my mini films. They are going to get a little bit longer. Some of the shorter films, uh, where they're under a minute long, they're kind of test runs for things that I have plans in the future.
Okay.
Um, so it's going to be kind of a variety. And then lately, because I've been getting quite a few knives lately, I want to put them on my channel, but I don't necessarily, I haven't reviewed them yet. I'm not ready to review them. So what I might do is an unscripted first impressions. That way people get an opportunity to listen to me unscripted, because my reviews are very high production style, almost scripted. It's all written by me. It's all done by me. But I want people to be able to hear me where it's not a recording, if that
Gotcha.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think, I mean, me personally, for me, those are the best type. Those are the ones I appreciate. I really appreciate. It's just, somebody talking and telling me what they like, what they don't like. And I mean, I think that probably comes out um in my review style, is because that's what I like. You know what I mean? It's just we all have a different style and how we present things. But I think if you watch different people with different styles, you can actually pick up on things that, because I'm pretty straightforward. I pretty much have developed a pattern or a flow to my reviews, and I keep that flow. Why? Because, well, it works for me. Obviously, the minute I start going off of that, I start kind of like stumbling and stammering and all that good stuff. But it's, you find your flow, and you kind of just, with me, I just stick with it because it's what works for me. you know
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you've got a good formula and it's working, definitely stick with it. I like the idea that I'm not just presenting one formula. I do have a reason for presenting knives in a high production style, and it has to do more with the fact that people are scared of pocket knives.
hmm
And when
hmm
it comes to reviews, they may come across a little tactical, especially when you're flicking the knife
yeah,
in front of them over and over again. It can be a little scary for some people. Obviously, not to us that have been around pocket knives all
sure,
our lives,
sure,
um, but I do have kind of a reason for my madness,
yeah,
and I like that I can also mix a little bit of music with my videos. I kind of feel like I create knife music videos and I
yeah.
ruin them with my voice over. But ultimately, the idea is just to present the knife to people that are maybe a little intimidated by them. Um, I was kind of inspired to do that when I was watching, I can't remember his full name. I'm sorry, I'm going to botch it. There's a Scottish gentleman that has started reviewing knives. I want to say maybe a year and a half ago. Um, Let me see if I can find him. His Scotsman 762.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
he's an interesting reviewer. I really like his channel a lot. He features, because he's in the UK, there's going to be a lot of slip joints.
Of course. Yep.
He absolutely loves Victorinox, for instance. Um, but he talks a little bit about the things that are going on in his country with the laws.
hmm
And you can hear the frustration
Oh,
that is
sure.
coming through on his end. And it's for people like him, he's absolutely passionate. He's not going to threaten anyone with a Victorinox. At least I don't think Swiss Army knives are threatening. I'm sure they can be used in a bad fashion, but I'm not necessarily threatened by a little pocket knife. And I want to be able to help out and present pocket knives in a way that maybe turn heads, where people see them as fashionable, where people are just not scared. I don't want them to be seen as weapons.
Right.
That's my big goal here. And if I can do that, if I can win people over that would normally not look at knives, then I did something really good.
For
And I
sure.
didn't necessarily do something good for me. I did this for the knife community.
Exactly. No, yeah, I respect that 100%, man. That is awesome, and it's a admirable approach, and I commend you for it. That is fantastic. I
I
really,
appreciate
really
that.
like that approach. I do have a question for you, real quick.
Yeah,
Now, I know you just released a video on the Pilar 3,
yeah,
and I had a couple of questions for you because, trust me, if you've seen my channel, seen my some of my CRKT videos. I have somewhat of a love-hate relationship with CRKT. And I noticed on your video you were talking about some sharp edges. Were you talking about in this area here?
yeah. It's
Is that where you talk?
specifically on the frame. When you go to grip the knife, here, let me grab it really quick. I don't have it here really close to me. It'll just take a sec.
Now, see, mine. I, I am.
Well, it looks like I may have misplaced it. It is definitely on the frame. It's on
Okay.
the frame itself. It's on the lock bar.
Like kind of right in
Uh,
this area. In
yeah,
this
and then
area
you
here.
also get it on the G10, right in that same little area.
Right here.
Uh, and when you try to grip the knife, I'm going to use this knife, for example. When you go to try to grip the knife, you definitely interact with it. You feel it right on your middle finger. It's not going to be immediate. Like, I've tried using it for a whole day, and that's when I noticed it. I'm like, why is my finger? It doesn't hurt, but you can kind of feel like there was a scratch there,
Sure.
like
Sure.
something had been interacting with my finger for quite some time. And then when I went to go look at what I was doing that day, it was me cutting up boxes with my Pilar 3. I really like the knife. I love the design. I love the action on it. The action on it is probably the best action for the price point. I've not seen a drop shot action like this for 50 bucks. You don't get that with any other brand. I love the design. I love the little brass backspacer on the back. It's a beautiful knife. I just a little sad by the finish, and I'm not completely bummed out about it. I did attempt to get a replacement 3 different times. I've resorted to asking a friend to do the repairs. And I'm excited because he's going to be able to do this on his channel. So this gives him some content. And then on top of that, he's going to also review the knife on his channel.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited for this knife. It's not a knife that I want to give any kind of hate to. I don't want to kind of give that impression.
Right.
Just a
Right.
little bummed out by how it feels in the hand.
Now, see, I was very interested in that because this, the one I have, I don't get that from. No, it's obviously, you do get a little bit just from the frame and the way the frame lock is cut. Yes. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's super smooth, but mine is not sharp, that I would say. And that's kind of what I was getting at is I've had several CRKTs that are, and that's one of the things I've said is the finish work has just kind of been, a little lacking from time to time. And I was really happy that this one wasn't that way. It feels really good. And then you came back and said that yours was kind of sharp and stuff. And I was like, oh man, come on. you know,
Yeah.
you know, I was super hoping that it would just be, and unfortunately that's not the first comment I got about the Pilar 3. So I'm like, come on, CRKT, you can do it. I know you can. I know you can do it.
This is a
And
winning design, honestly. If
oh
they
yeah,
give it the right amount of love, this design can last for just as long as the Buck 110 has. It's a beautiful design. It's a definite work knife. I can see a lot of people enjoying it. It's just priced perfectly. Um, I just wish it felt a little better in hand.
sure, sure, absolutely. And that's the thing, is it's just I so want CRKT to be to be what I know they can be, and I know that they have been because obviously I have I have an example of what it can be when it's done, and it's just like, oh, come on, guys, come on. And then when you said that, I was like, oh man,
Mm,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I completely understand. I have to say, I'm super excited to see what Asher Knives is doing. They're a brand that I have a lot of interest in. They're kind of new to me.
Mhm.
I got this one from Lefty EDC, and I really love the action on it. I can't remember who their OEM is. I want to say it might be QSP. I'll have to do a little bit of digging,
Oh,
but
now, yeah, you're putting me on the spot. I think it's either QSP or Best Tech, and I can't remember right off the top of my head.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
Oh
They
no,
make
not at
excellent
all, not
knives.
at all. Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see what they are doing, especially since they're making knives with S35VN.
Hmm.
This one has titanium scales, and this was sold for under $100.
Oh, for sure.
That's fantastic. I'm
Absolutely.
super excited about this brand. Another brand that is relatively new to me is um, what do we call? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank.
Off
The
grid.
shredder sent this to me. Off Grid, there we go. Yeah, Off Grid Knives. I'm super excited for their knives. I'm glad that they're working with Best Tech. Their knives are really awesome. This is the second knife from Off Grid that I have. I'm actually working on a review for another one. Um, I just took a little bit of a pause to work on some sticker logos for some of the channels, but I'm excited to put these guys on my channel. I'm really excited to see what Artisan and CJRB are doing
Yeah.
this year. Uh, I I really love uh, all all of the models that they're creating. I feel like they have models that they're building on. They are not necessarily always producing tons of models the way that Civivi is, but their
I
models
don't
are
think anybody's
solid.
doing that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
anyone is.
anybody's doing as much as Savivi does. Oh my goodness. But I tell you what I really like about Artisan and Siege, I really, really like their micarta.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
like their micarta.
This feels so nice.
Yeah,
And from my understanding, they're using American-made micarta.
that is my understanding as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I
If
love
you've
what
not
they're doing.
handled a CJRB or an Artisan, I highly encourage checking them out because they're not going to hurt your pocket.
It's probably, of all the people that are doing micarta out there, Artisan CGRB is probably pretty close to my favorite, just from feel and grip, and now obviously you're going to get different styles of micarta where canvas is different from linen and so on and so forth. But I just
Right.
I just really like how they're doing it.
Yeah, I
It
absolutely love it. I love what they're doing. I think it's awesome. And then Russ is a friendly guy.
Oh,
Russ
he's
is so
super
friendly.
friendly, super friendly for sure. Yes, indeed. So speaking, you're from Arizona, you're from the Southwest. Have you heard that Blade Show West this year is going to be in Long Beach?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I hope I get the opportunity to go out there. I haven't made plans for it yet, but I know that Women Carry Knives and a Therapeutic Edge are making plans to go out there, and I believe the Shredder is going to be out there as well.
It sounds like they're going to try. Yeah, and I am definitely going to do everything I can to go down. And I had plans to go to Atlanta last year, and of course that all got, you know, uh, canceled and everything like that. But I probably won't be
Right.
going to Atlanta this year. It's not going to work. But I'm definitely going to be trying to go to Blade Show West in Long Beach for sure.
Yeah, I'll be excited. I hope I get to go. There's nothing that would stop me, honestly. I just would like if I could go with some friends. I don't have a significant other. I'm completely single.
Right on.
But yeah, I think it would be fun to go with some buddies. I'm the only knife nut amongst my friends.
I hear you. I hear
So,
you.
and if they have pocket knives, it's because I gave them pocket
Right,
knives.
right. Yeah, I hear you. I'm right there with now. Like with me, the guys at work. I mean, we all use the knives in the course of our job for sure. But they're not. Oh, there's a couple that I would call kind of knife guys. They when have a knife that's new, I'll take it into them. I'll take it to work with me, and I'll say, "Hey guys, what do you think of this?" And they'll give me your thoughts because that's just more information for me as far as doing reviews. And I'll say, hey, okay, try this one out. What do you think? Cut some, because we have tons and tons and tons of rope that we used, and I was like, give it a shot. Tell me what you think. And they will. And it's really helpful when I go to do my reviews, because I not only have my perspective, but I have others' firsthand perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
completely understand.
a lot of times when I say, I can see where this would cause, it's not a hot spot for me, but I can see where it could be for others. That usually stems from one of them going, man, if I hold onto this knife for a really long time, the clip is could start to bug me. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know.
That is
Okay.
good to know.
So a couple of guys, because we're kind of different. Like one guy, he's got a little bit smaller hands than I do. And one of the other guys has got a little bit larger hands than I do. So I kind of get a perspective of how the knife lands in different people's hands. And that's super helpful when I go to do a review. So that's kind of, they're my they're my hand models. We'll put it that way. People give me a bad time because I always say, I don't know. It seems like knives are just made to fit my size hand a lot of times. I don't know. And so people started calling me the hand model and all that other good stuff. But so these guys are my hand models. I say,
That's
okay,
funny.
hold this. How does it feel? Hold this. How does it feel?
Yeah, I have my buddies do the same. I have them hold it, but they don't necessarily pay attention to all of the specs. They're not paying attention to the forward finger choil. So I just
Right.
have them hold it and test the action. And it's fun getting a reaction from them. It was exciting to see one of my friends, Spidey Flick, their Spyderco for the first time.
There you go.
They just seeing their face light up the way that it did, it was just all worth it.
I remember the first time I ever saw somebody do that. I saw the knife come up and I was like, what did that guy, what did he just do?
Right.
I was like, what in the world? What is that? And then, so then that was my, I had to try, and now I'm getting it. I can do it sometimes. Like the Pilar is easy. It's super easy to Spidey flick. That's why I like it so much, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I love the action on the Pilar. I really do. I love the shape. I love the very slim profile. It doesn't have any kind of flipper on it, so it's not going to affect anything in your pocket. It's just a really nice overall design. I really like it a lot.
Whoa. Now you can't go flashing a knife like that looks like it might be red without showing it to me. Come on now. What do we got there?
Uh,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
this is a knife that my brother sent me. I'm not particularly close to family. I want to say that we are, but we're not particularly close.
Okay.
It's really exciting when I get something from them. So I got this from him for my birthday this last year. And it is the Civivi Insight. It's probably my favorite Civivi knife, just based on the action. I also love the overall size.
Yeah.
I to have medium large hands.
Yeah.
But
I love that blade shape.
I seem to like knives that are a little bit bigger. I think a therapeutic edge has rubbed off on me a little bit because he really likes the really big knives.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
And
does.
he's the one that kind of got me to talk about some of the larger knives. It's just kind of fun. I really like them a lot. I like what they can do. I like this knife in particular, just really comfortable. I know that there's the Praxis, which is very similar to this one.
Yep.
This one didn't get a lot of love from Civivi last year, and I know it came out last year. There's a Damascus version with beautiful carbon fiber, and it looks like gold flake, but I think it might be copper flakes.
Oh, okay.
In the material.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not into Damascus knives. I like to use my knives. And so when I opened the box, my eyes kind of lit up. I wasn't expecting a big knife like this. I wasn't expecting a Civivi. And just using it since mid-December, this thing is awesome. I really love this knife. It was probably the very first knife I reviewed for this year.
Cool. Very cool. Awesome. And I know you mentioned Peter, and he likes his big knives. And according to him, knives can be any color as long as they're black, gray, or silver.
Right, absolutely.
That's one of his
Yeah.
little. That's one of his little. I love it. I love when he says that. But I tell you what, man, it's the people in this community, and I know you just did a kind of a shout out to Zach. You won, like you mentioned, you won his giveaway. You won that Griptillion and stuff, and uh, he's just Zach is just one of those guys that he's an amazing person. Um, you just I love, yeah, I love his to do something kind for someone, and it just kind of melds in with what I'm trying to do and in the community, and it just, man, he's such an awesome person and a great friend for sure.
I'm really excited to see what he's doing. I I love all of the knives that he features, and I like the way that he does it. He kind of has this West Coast vibe in his voice. You
Oh
can
yeah, oh yeah.
I get almost California, but I'm not exactly sure where he's at.
Oregon,
But
Oregon.
okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. He's super chill.
Oh,
I
definitely.
I like that the moment we started interacting, like since then, if I appear on any live, the moment I say hi, he's one of the very first ones to
Oh, for sure.
greet me. Um, I like that he's very interactive with multiple channels, helping with moderating
Yeah,
lives.
yeah, for
I
sure.
like that. I like what he's about. I think he's awesome. And I wish more people were like him. We do need to do something kind for someone and
Absolutely.
recommend people to do something kind for someone every day. He's really
Absolutely.
awesome.
If one person would do one thing, you know, kind for someone every day, and that just, and that snowballs, and you get the domino effect. I mean, come on. How cool would that be? The
Yeah,
world would be a much better place. I know that for sure.
it would be. It really would be. And it's kind of interesting. I have some friends, like a lot of my friends and my roommate, they're very political. And some of the things that I do is kind of a big no-no for them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's kind of interesting, kind of seeing some of the reactions, but I've decided to lay down a lot of my own beliefs for the sake of playing it cool and just going with the flow. Like everyone is going through something right now.
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't necessarily want to play a card where it puts someone in a bad place.
No,
Um,
no. There's no reason for that.
and I don't know. I think working with different people, like I never anticipated ever interacting with DTOM Knives and Gear. Kyle is awesome.
He is. Yes, he is.
Um,
Yes, he is.
I I never anticipated talking to Ali from TPK. I'm going to be working with her. I'm excited that I'm going to be working with them on some future projects.
Oh,
I have
cool.
a devious little thing I'm going to do for her that I'm super excited about.
Awesome, man. That is so cool. So cool. Well, I tell you what, Jason. Um, I love I love your vibe, and I love how you come off, and your idea on how you want to present knives to the community is I think it's fantastic. It's like I said, it's different than the way I do things. Like I said, I'm more of the straightforward, because that's just the way. But I love how you get the idea of how you want to present to people, and I hope, and it's awesome. It's awesome. That's about all I can say. I know I say everything is awesome. I use awesome way too much. I do.
I do too.
I
I
need to
understand.
I need to find a new word, but it is, and I truly respect your idea and your thought behind it. It's fantastic, my friend.
I really appreciate it. I really hope that people that are not necessarily interested in knives may look at my material and then feel a little different. I'm going to do what I can to help out the knife community, and I'm excited to do it. I think this is a lot of fun.
Very, very cool. Well, I tell you what, Jason, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. I really, I wish you the absolute best of luck with your channel. And, anytime, uh, well, I say this, anything I can help you with, definitely not technical, because you've got me blown away on that aspect. Hesitate to hit me up. We've been chatting on Instagram and stuff like that.
Right.
Just anytime, if I don't answer you right away, it's probably because I'm either working and I can't have my phone, or I'm asleep. So, but
I understand. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you.
and I really, really appreciate you giving up a little bit of time of your day today to talk to us and to kind of, help the community know who Jason NebuQloud is a little bit better. And I'll tell you what, I promise I won't throw you under the bus anymore with logos and stuff unless I talk to you first. I promise.
You don't have to do that. You're welcome to send people my way anytime.
but I and then I hope, I would love if that's something that you decide you want to do more of. I would love to see it, because you do fantastic work, my friend. You really, really do.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've been tinkering with phones since they came out, and I like everything that you can do with them. I think it's really cool. I'm seriously amazed what you can do with an iPhone.
For sure. For sure. But all right, my friend. Well, I tell you what, I think it's about time. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. But again, thank you so very much for joining me and giving me a little bit of time. And you know, for the lack of a better term, introducing yourself a little bit more and getting out there into the community. I greatly, greatly appreciate it, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Big Red.
So I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and we will definitely, definitely be talking more in the future.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.